You're walking alone on a deserted street, the fog swirling around you like a chilling mist. Suddenly, you stumble upon a crime scene, the police lights casting an eerie glow. A body lies on the ground, a life cut short. The question is, who could have committed such a heinous crime, and why? You find yourself standing at the edge of a small town, the streets lined with old Victorian houses, their windows like empty eyes staring back at you. The wind carries the whispers of the past, the creaking of wooden signs, and the distant rumble of a train. It's a place where everyone knows each other, where secrets are hard to keep, and yet, a sense of unease settles in the pit of your stomach. You've been drawn to this place, to a specific case, one that has gone cold, but still haunts the dreams of the local investigators. A young woman, barely 20 years old, was found dead in the woods, her body brutally beaten, her face a picture of terror. The police collected evidence, interviewed suspects, but the case remains unsolved, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks in every corner of Britain. You're with the police as they arrive at the crime scene, the sound of sirens piercing the air, the smell of wet earth and leaves filling your nostrils. The victim, a young woman, lies on the ground, her eyes frozen in a permanent stare. The officers begin to process the scene, collecting evidence, taking notes, and photographing every detail. You notice a piece of paper clutched in the victim's hand, a cryptic message scrawled on it, a possible lead in the case. As you look closer, you see the fear in the victim's eyes, the terror that gripped her in her final moments. The question is, what was she trying to tell us, and who was she trying to warn? You're in the investigation room, surrounded by detectives, each with their own theory, their own lead to follow. The whiteboard is filled with names, dates, and possible motives, a complex web of clues and suspects. The team discusses the case, debating the evidence, and weighing the options. You hear the sound of fingers typing on keyboards, the rustling of papers, and the occasional ring of a phone, as the team works tirelessly to crack the case. But as the days turn into weeks, and the weeks into months, the trail begins to go cold, the leads drying up, and the case becoming more and more elusive. The question is, will the police be able to find the killer before it's too late, or will the case remain a mystery forever? You're following a new lead, a tip that has come in from an anonymous source, a possible witness who claims to have seen something on the night of the murder. The detectives are skeptical, but they can't ignore the possibility, no matter how small. As they investigate further, they uncover a surprising twist, a revelation that throws the entire case into chaos. The victim, it turns out, was not who she seemed to be, her identity a fabrication, a cleverly constructed lie. The question is, who was she really, and what was she hiding? You're with the family of the victim, the ones who have been left behind to pick up the pieces, to try and make sense of the senseless. They're struggling to come to terms with the loss, the grief, and the anger that consumes them. The detectives are still working the case, following leads, and gathering evidence, but the family knows that justice may never be served. They're left to wonder, to question, and to mourn, their lives forever changed by the brutal act of a stranger. The question is, how do they move on, how do they heal, and how do they find peace in a world that seems to have lost its way? You're reflecting on the case, on the evidence, and on the investigation. The police have followed every lead, every tip, and every hint, but the case remains unsolved. The family is still waiting for justice, still waiting for answers, and still waiting for closure. The question is, what do we know today, and what can we learn from this tragic case? The answer lies in the details, in the evidence, and in the stories of those who were touched by the crime. As we look back, we realize that the truth is complex, multifaceted, and often hidden in plain sight. The case may be cold, but the memories, the emotions, and the questions remain, a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurks in every corner of Britain. And so, we're left to wonder, to speculate, and to investigate, driven by a desire for justice and a need for truth. As we conclude this journey into the world of cold cases, we're left with more questions than answers. The truth is out there, but it's up to us to find it. So, we ask you, what do you think happened in this case? Share your theory in the comments below, like this video, and subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories. And as you walk away from this case, remember, the truth is always hiding in plain sight, waiting to be uncovered. But will we ever find it, or will it remain a mystery forever?